Hey everybody, it's MissIvyBee, and today I'm going to be showing you how I do my soft contour full face glam. Ta-da! If you want to see how I do it, go ahead and keep on watching. So first I'm going to be using this MakeUpForever Base Hydration. I have an oily T-zone, so I'll be using two different ones. Hydration on my cheeks, and then I'm going to be mattifying on my T-zone. I'll draw it on just like this later on. I'm going to use a flat brush just to pack it onto the skin, blend it all wherever I need more hydration. Underneath my eyes, on my cheeks, underneath my nose. Those are basically the spots that are usually dry during the day. This one is the mattifying, so I only put this on the top of my forehead and the bridge of my nose. During the day, I notice that my nose gets a little more shinier, all the oils like coming out of it. I know that happens to a lot of people, and usually that's why we have blot pads or we powder our nose, that thing. You gotta work fast with this stuff. It dries up really quick because obviously it dries you out and mattifies you. Okay, I'm just dancing a little bit. That's what happens when I get ready and I'm listening to my Pandora. Alright, let's continue. I'm going to use this Prolongwear concealer in NC42. Just put a little dab right there. And then I'm going to apply that underneath my eyes, anywhere I see that needs a little bit of concealing. Mostly underneath my eyes, and I got red spots on my cheeks, so I'll bring it down, and I try to do a triangle shape, but sometimes I get a little carried away with the concealer and I brush it all over the place just because I'm trying to conceal my life, all these blemishes. Makeup does wonders. I add a little bit of concealer on my eyelids just so that my eyeshadow will stay longer. But I also add a primer, so it like doubles up the strength, I guess. I add a little bit of concealer at the bottom of your nose because usually that's where red spots are. I try to conceal on the sides of my nose also because I also have red spots there. I'm not doing any color correcting, so I'm just using one concealer that I use for everything. Looking fresh like butter. Now that everything's concealed, I'm going to use my Prolongwear foundation in NC42. Same color, I know. I wasn't really trying to conceal with a light one. I'm going to dab this all over my face and work it in. I try to use the same brush, but I try to plan it out, you know, in order so that it goes primer, concealer, foundation, or primer, foundation, concealer. Depending on what you're trying to conceal, you use it either before or after your foundation. So I'm just going to work this all the way in. I'm going to pick up this other brush right here by Sigma and buff it all out. Gives you more of that airbrush effect once it's buffed in. I'm going to use Tantone by MAC to start my contour. I'm going to use an angled brush just like this one. This one's actually from Sigma. I like to contour the middle of my face and then work towards the outside. I'm just going to carve out my nose. It's all about shadows. So I'm going to go directly straight down as if I'm painting my face. I'm going to make the depth a little bit more deeper up by the bridge, the top of the bridge of your nose. Because mine is a little bit flatter, I have to go deeper in the middle of the eyebrow bone and the nose. I'm going to work it into my crease so that I have a little bit more depth to my face. When I have no makeup on and no contour, I am flat like a pancake. So just like painting, you want to do the shadows to make it more three-dimensional. I'm going to do it all the way to the other side, work it in and buff it out. You always want to buff it out or you're going to be walking out with lines and it's going to look really funny from different angles. Don't be shy with buffing it out. The more buffy it gets, the better it looks. See, right here you can tell that it's not buffed out yet. So the lines are super crisp. So what if I walked out like that? Wouldn't you take a second look at me? At the top of my nose, I'm going to draw a little line that goes across like a bridge from side to side to make the tip of my nose look a little more sharper. Since it's a button nose, this part is always the great part. You can also add a little highlight at the tip of your nose if you want it to look more pronounced. If your nose is a little bit turned up like mine, I like to add more shadow at the bottom of the nose so you can't tell that there's a separation. Right here you can tell that I have contoured my nose and there's two different tones. I'm going to pick up another brush. This one I'm going to use to contour the sides of my face. This brush is the MAC 138. It looks like a huge version of the blending brush for your eyes. So I like this one because you can really get into the depths of the hollows of your cheek. Like right here, if you just touch your face, you know where your cheekbones are and where it gets a little more hollow. You want to add the depth there. Here's a little tip. Any part of your face that is up like a peak, that's where the highlight goes. Anywhere that it's flat, I would like to put the contour in that area. Don't be shy to buff. This is always the best part. Just buff, buff, buff. If you're more concentrated on the placement of your contour, the more noticeable it will be. So just buff it out, go with it. It's always fixable, it's never permanent. You can already see the difference. I like to add more contour underneath to get that jawline. You want to create some shadow so the illusion is it's not there. This is great for pictures, but not great when you're wearing a white t-shirt and you throw that over after you've put on your makeup. There's my double chin. Keep buffing it out so that it does not look too distinct. You want to buff it upwards towards your chin and a little bit downwards towards your neck. I get carried away here with buffing out everything. Blend everything together. Blend, blend, blend. I'm gonna throw. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit more on the top. I do it a little bit into the hairline so it doesn't look like my hairline is super white and then it goes super dark. So I like to buff it all the way up to the hair. I'm already looking three-dimensional. No more pancake face for me. I'm going to buff it into my hairline a little more by pulling my hair back. Get really in there. I'm just going to keep buffing away. Even with the big brush, I'm going to go over by my nose where I created those lines and try to buff it out just a smidge. Don't put too much, just trying to blend everything together, because if you add more product and keep going there, the whole thing's going to look dark. With a clean brush, I'm going to buff out the lines that I made because they're a little too crisp for my taste. I just want to blend that outwards. I'll never forget this day. So how am I looking? Am I looking a little contoured? I think so. Yeah.
I'll never forget this day.
If you do want more depth, you can always go in and add more. I'm going to use a bronzer and refine bronze gold. That's the color right there. Now I'm going to take the same brush and lightly go in and buff it in so that I get more of a deeper depth. Any spots that you notice, just add more where you think that you need it.
I'll never forget this day.
You want to back up from the mirror and take a look. I'm going to grab my phone right here and record some Snapchats.
I'll never forget this day.
So I'm just going to fast forward through this ending part. I'm just going to add a little more blush above where I put the contour with that angled brush. But that's basically it. That is your contoured face look. If you want to see how I finished off the rest of the face, please do let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.